Depression is a common occurrence among caregivers. It's not at all unusual to experience depression as you witness the progressive decline of someone you care about while your own life is becoming more and more complicated, reclusive, and restrictive. There are two types of depression that most caregivers experience at one time or another. The first is reactionary depression, which is usually a temporary condition. With time and effort, you can work your way through this. The second is clinical depression, and this is totally different because it's a medical condition that manifests in a mental disorder. And recovery from clinical depression requires medical treatment. Counseling and other interventions may also be needed. So let's talk about reactionary depression first. Reactionary depression is often a response to a difficult situation. It can be triggered by any number of events. Perhaps you or your care receiver got a bad diagnosis. It could come about as a result of a rejection, maybe a job loss, a troubled or broken relationship. The death of a pet can put an entire family into depression for a period of time. And it often comes as a response to stuffing feelings such as anger, resentment, and guilt rather than dealing with them. So regardless of the situation or event that triggers reactionary depression, the emotional impact is dramatic. It can also lead to a series of physical ailments such as lack of energy, headaches, backaches, stomach aches, difficulty sleeping, and weight loss or gain. And you feel like there's this big, dark, heavy cloud hovering right over your head and following you every place you go. It's awful. But there is some good news about reactionary depression. It's usually temporary, and with awareness and effort, it is possible to work your way through it on your own. At the beginning of an episode of reactionary depression, it may be hard to motivate yourself to do anything at all. So just give yourself permission to sit with it, sit with your loss or heartache for a while, and allow yourself to feel it, to think about it, and to process it. Not every problem has an immediate solution, so give yourself some time and space to feel and to heal. Whatever the event or circumstance caused you to feel depressed was real. Something hurt or disappointed you, and it's appropriate to give it some time and thought to get a little bit of distance and perspective. And then, when you're ready, try doing some of the things that have lifted your spirits in the past. Perhaps listening to music will give you a lift. Maybe you could go visit a friend who will listen and support you and not criticize you. Get some exercise. And if you can do that while being out in nature, that could be a double bonus. You might even think about volunteering with an organization that you care about, or possibly helping someone who is in worse shape than you are. And then, when it feels right, you could start working through the 3 steps of creative indifference. Become aware of the situation or event that triggered your reactionary depression by writing it down. Accept that being a caregiver is incredibly hard and that depression is not a failure or a weakness on your part. It's really a signal that something is wrong and that it's time to look inward and focus on your own physical, mental, and emotional well-being. It may not be easy, but with effort, you can come through it. And one morning, you'll wake up and you'll notice that the sun is shining. You'll hear yourself laugh, and you'll discover that you're finding a little bit of pleasure in doing something small. And then you'll realize that you have come through the storm. Your world will start to look a little bit brighter, and your load will start to feel a little bit lighter.